I got you.
All right, creatures of the night, Alex Doriot here with another edition of what we're calling Digging Up the Dead Man here, a little supplemental show for the Talking Taker YouTube channel, a compliment to our podcast where myself and my best friend Travis White and we explore every single aspect of the Undertaker's career. We've gone through every single one of his pay-per-view matches one by one, and now we've got the podcast still alive, going through different aspects of the Undertaker's career. And here on the YouTube channel, I have been adding some videos where I take you through my journey to complete what is behind me here. Basically a rogues gallery of sorts, where I'm trying to collect one figure to represent every single one of the Undertaker's pay-per-view opponents in his career, the Talking Taker figure collection that I've got up here. So I'm going to be unboxing a couple of new additions to the shelf here, and they're going to go right here on this shelf, which sort of represents the Undertaker basically 2004 to the present day here. Give you a little bit more of a view of it there. And these guys both come in, one is going to be from 2004, one is going to be 2008, but I'm unboxing them together because they both represent guys that, if you're not a hardcore Undertaker fan, you might not even realize that he faced these two guys ever on pay-per-view. He only faced them once, and both times they were in multi-man matches, and they're also both two guys that I wish, if I could make a dream list of, 5 to 10 guys that I wish had a singles match with The Undertaker on pay-per-view, both of these guys would probably be on it. So today, I'm going to unbox a figure to represent Finlay. He loves to fight. And I'm going to be unboxing Viva la Raza, Lie, Cheat, and Steal, Eddie Guerrero. So I'll explain the matches that The Undertaker faced these guys in, and I will unbox these two vintage figures here. First up, let's do Finlay right here. So this figure is from, 2007. This is a No Way Out Jakks Pacific Finlay. Got a ladder accessory in there. Picked this one up from my hometown of Augusta, Georgia. I was there a couple weekends ago visiting some family and went to a place called Dead Media Collectibles off of Walton Way. Actually, it's off Central Avenue in Augusta. It's been there for a few years. It's a little tiny shop there on Central Avenue. It's a really cool place, though. I dig it. Really more focused on like comic books and DVDs. I should have grabbed him. I got a couple of wrestling DVDs. I got the Undertaker This Is My Yard DVD because I've never owned that. And I got an old Coliseum video, a couple other things there. But they do have, they actually do have a nice selection of toys, but just not a ton of wrestling figures. But they did have this mint on card Finlay figure for a good price. I've been looking for a Finlay for a while, and I thought this would be a perfect one to do on here. Now, like I said, I'll explain when Finlay faced Undertaker because it's not like super memorable, but he was one of the Undertaker's opponents in the Undertaker's very first Elimination Chamber match. So that was, actually, I believe that was No Way Out 2008. So this is a little bit before that, but it does kind of fit the theme there. And I actually can't remember it off the top of my head, so I had to Google who else was in that match. But yeah, it was Undertaker versus Finlay versus Batista versus Great Khali versus MVP versus Big Daddy V. So actually, Undertaker did win that match. It was a great finish to that match. Undertaker's first time in the Elimination Chamber. You might remember that finish where Batista's got him set up for like a power slam, and Undertaker kind of flips over the ropes into a tombstone, and he's going to go on to face Edge at WrestleMania 24 after winning that match. So very cool finish. But Finlay is one of his opponents in that match, and man, Finlay was a guy who came back to WWE in I think it was late 2005, early 2006, and just had a heck of a run there for a while. Just rejuvenated his career. I could not believe it. I mean, I remember this guy in WCW, Fit Finlay, with the one shoulder pad on his jacket and the old gray mullet and the mustache. And I enjoyed watching him, but I thought he was old then, and because he just always had that white hair. But then he comes back in WWE and just has this incredible second run. It's a guy that I would love to see him in the Hall of Fame for WWE one day. I think he probably will go in there, especially just considering all that he's done behind the scenes and backstage, training people and everything. And a guy who had some bangers on TV with The Undertaker, just a couple of them on SmackDown, but you should go out of your way to check those out. I want to say they're in around 2007 time when Finlay and Booker T are teaming up there. But dude, just great chemistry, and I could just imagine a 20-minute Finlay and Undertaker match on pay-per-view, on a singles pay-per-view. Could have been an incredible matchup. But at least they did have one match in that Elimination Chamber to represent him. So we'll unbox this. You could kind of see who else was getting represented back at this time. Same line, you got Finlay, Johnny Nitro at the time, Kane, John Cena, Batista, and then another line out at the same time. You got a Mr. McMahon, an original Miz with with those awful Jinko shorts, whatever those were. Who is that? The female, Tori Wilson, Rey Mysterio. Is that Maria? No, Victoria, Kenny Dykstra, and Super Crazy. All right, let's give this an open because I have everything loose in my collection. So we will unbox this 15-year-old figure at this point. So, yeah, there he is. Ladder accessory, don't really need that. I've already got a couple ladders back there. Probably will just trash that bad boy. And look at that, man. What else do you want from a Finlay figure? Right here. Look at that mean mug of an expression. I mean, that is Finlay right there. The gap in his teeth, the eyes kind of squinted. I mean, that is 2006, 2007 Finlay in a nutshell. The clover on his gear, nice detail on the sides of it. Knee pads, white boots. Only thing missing from this, and if I had thought of it at the time, maybe I would have got a different one. No shillelagh. Finlay had that shillelagh almost in every match at that time. He was whipping that out and knocking people out with it. I would say that's the only thing missing from this. Wish it had that instead of a ladder accessory on there. But either way, I mean, they got his body pretty much spot on, the right sort of body type, right arms, and again, perfect head representation on there. So love this figure. This is a good one. Would have loved using this in my Fig Fed back in the day as a kid. I can imagine he would get a pretty nice push in there. Just a guy I loved seeing on TV. Would love to see him make a random Royal Rumble appearance here in the next couple years. I know he's getting older, but I'm sure he could do something like that. And like I said, I'd love to see him in the Hall of Fame one day. So we will add him to the shelf. I'll rearrange and give him a permanent spot, but we'll just put him up here for now. All right, there we go. And we will move on to Eddie Guerrero. All right, Eddie Guerrero, going to be adding him to the Talking Taker collection now. Another guy who did not face Undertaker except for one pay-per-view match, and it was in a multi-man match. Probably kind of a forgotten multi-man match at Armageddon 2004 for the WWE Championship. It's Eddie Guerrero, Booker T, JBL, and The Undertaker in there. And I only get a few minutes of interaction with Eddie and Undertaker, but you can just tell what an incredible program these two guys could have had. We get a little interaction of them in the build-up to this match. I believe they have one other singles match that's on TV. That's just a very fun match and just a preview of what sort of fun they could have had. There's a great promo backstage where Eddie and Booker T are trying to decide who's going to take out The Undertaker, and Eddie Guerrero calls him El Hombre Muerto. the dead man. And Undertaker shows up behind him. They do some nice comedy in there. We've posted that on our social media pages before. That's a fun backstage segment with these two. But man, I do think had Eddie Guerrero lived another couple of years, had his career lasted another few more years, I think for sure Undertaker and Eddie Guerrero would have had a singles program together. I don't see how they could have missed that. And it would have been just some of the best. They would have had an incredible match during that time period. They would have had some awesome promos. You can just imagine Eddie's facial expressions selling all of the dead man's taunts and mind games and all that sort of stuff. Just a shame, just a missed opportunity. Eddie, always one of my favorite guys. I just remember exactly where I was when I heard the news that he passed, and my heart breaking and being devastated about it. But I'm glad we had the time that we did have with him and all the great memories on the WWE Network, on Peacock, that you can go relive. Glad that I do get to represent him with one figure in the Talking Taker collection. So first thing I noticed about this one, WrestleMania 22 packaging there, and that is just heartbreaking because of course he passed before WrestleMania 22 took place. So that makes this one just a little bit more of a heartbreaker. This one says as seen on SummerSlam, so I assume this is the gear he wore at SummerSlam 2004, 2005-ish. Again, you can see the back of it here. Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, John Cena, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio in, I want to say it's his WrestleMania, can't quite remember there, the all blue gear. Shawn Michaels, and then you got Deluxe Aggression on the back with Triple H, Randy Orton, John Cena, Batista, Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle, Triple H, all those guys on there. Don't be a punk, get them all. Well, we just got one here, so Road to WrestleMania Series 2. I've been meaning to add an Eddie Guerrero to the figure to the collection for a long time. Got this one on eBay. Let's pop it open. Rips off pretty easily. All right. No accessories here. Just Eddie. Jakks made some solid Eddie Guerrero figures. Mattel has made some good ones too. The last Mattel one in the Legends line, I pretty much decided to just pick up that one to represent Eddie, but I've to this day never seen it in the store, and I just never went ahead and got it, but got this guy on eBay for a good price in the package. Pretty spot on. He's got the blonde streaks in his hair and the shorter hair, so that pretty much represents him. For this is not, I don't think it's exactly what he wore in that Armageddon 2004 match, but it is pretty darn close. He does wear the black pants with some blue flames on them. So if this isn't exact, it's a pretty good representation of that. Gold boots on there, Latino on the butt, which is what he had. The tape, the body they used for Eddie Guerrero a bunch. They used this head a bunch of times. Solid, man. Solid addition to the collection. Not much else to say about it here. Just again, wish we could have got more with Eddie and the Undertaker. It would have been great. There's a great YouTube video where Undertaker is in the ring at a house show helping to celebrate Eddie Guerrero's birthday, where he kind of goes out of character for a very rare moment. And again, you can just tell how much Undertaker respected and appreciated Eddie in that moment. So I think that's a really cool thing to go check out here. So we will add Eddie Guerrero officially to the Undertaker figure, Undertaker opponent collection. Checking another two guys off the list here with Eddie and Finlay, the man who loves to fight. So we'll put them right next to each other. And hey, there's Booker T right there, who was in that match with him. Just knocked Teddy Long's glasses off. All right. I'll pick those back up. There's Batista as well. Oh, I'll move the mic so you can see that. There they are. Who was in that Elimination Chamber match. So, go check out both of those sort of forgotten Undertaker pay-per-view matches. Elimination Chamber from No Way Out in 2008 to see Finlay and Undertaker, and then Armageddon in 2004 to see Eddie Guerrero interacting with The Undertaker there on pay-per-view. You can listen to both of those wherever you get your podcast. You can also, of course, check them out here on YouTube, where we've got the audio version of those podcasts as well. Please check out and subscribe to Talking Taker. Listen to us. We're putting out new episodes on the first day of every month now. So they're not weekly, but we do put them out, a new episode every single month. Coming up for the month of March, we're going to be doing something very, very fun, very different. We're going to be doing a fantasy draft to pick our dream Ministry of Darkness factions. So that's something to look forward to on March 1st. Go check out some of the other unboxing videos. Got some more lined up here, some more purchases that are going to be coming in to add to the collection. So be sure to subscribe, check those out, and as always, take her easy.